Homelessness, the condition of not having a permanent place to live, only recently perceived as a societal problem. Estimates of the number of homeless people in the U.S. in the early 1990s ranged from 2 to 3 million, and the problem exists in all major cities and a growing number of smaller communities. The causes range from large-scale deinstitutionalization of mentally ill people to disintegration of the social fabric in minority communities, drug and alcohol abuse, cutbacks in federal social welfare programs, job loss, and real estate speculation. The number who are homeless for at least one night during the year is probably over 3 million. The majority of homeless are male. The largest proportion are single men. Illegal immigrants are swelling the ranks of the homeless. 1 child in 5 lives below the poverty line, making children the poorest age group in the United States, which accounts for the growing percentage of children who are homeless. Many homeless people have completed high school. Some have attended college and even graduate school. Less than 6% of the homeless are that way by choice. Most homeless are victims. Some have suffered from child abuse or violence. Nearly 1/4 are children. Many have lost their jobs. All have lost their homes. Many homeless people are among the working poor. A person earning a minimum wage can't earn enough to support a family of 3 or pay inner-city rent. About 25% of the homeless are estimated to be emotionally disturbed. 1 out of 4 homeless is employed full or part-time. 1/4 of the homeless are war veterans, most of them from the Vietnam conflict. 1 out of 4 homeless people is a child. The fastest growing homeless group in the United States is families with children. Even more appalling, many homeless children are alone. They may be runaways who left home because there is no money for food, because they are victims of rape, incest, or violence, or because one or both of their parents is in emotional turmoil. Some are throwaways, whose parents tell them to leave home, or won't allow them to return once they leave. Homelessness is a condition of people who lack regular legal access to adequate housing. Homelessness has been recognized as a significant social problem in the United States since the early 1980s, when a weak economy and cuts in federal aid for housing and income assistance caused a rapid increase in the number of homeless people. Advocates for the homeless claim that there are several million homeless people, while recent studies suggest that the homeless number from 600,000 to 700,000. Precise numbers are impossible to collect because researchers define homelessness in different ways, and because homeless people are difficult to count. The homeless population is made up largely of adult men, but the proportion of women, children, and youth has steadily increased. Most homeless people are also extremely poor and estranged from their families and other social networks. About 1/3 of the homeless are chronically mentally ill, and about half have drug or alcohol addictions. About 1/3 of homeless men are armed forces veterans. A person is considered homeless who lacks a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence, and has a primary nighttime residency that is either a supervised publicly or privately operated shelter designed to provide temporary living accommodations, or an institution that provides a temporary residence for individuals intended to be institutionalized, or public or private place not designed for or ordinarily used as a regular sleeping accommodation for human beings. This definition is usually interpreted to include only those persons who are literally homeless, that is, on the streets or in shelters, and persons who face imminent eviction within a week from a private dwelling or institution and who have no subsequent residence or resources to obtain housing. Two trends are largely responsible for the rise in homelessness over the past 15 to 20 years: a growing shortage of affordable rental housing and an increase in poverty. Persons living in poverty are at risk of becoming homeless, and demographic groups who are more likely to experience poverty are also more likely to experience homelessness. Two factors help account for increasing poverty: eroding employment opportunities for large segments of the workforce and the declining value and availability of public assistance. Media reports of a growing economy and low unemployment mask a number of important reasons why homelessness persists and in some areas of the country is worsening. These reasons include stagnant or falling incomes and less secure jobs which offer fewer benefits. The connection between impoverished workers and homelessness can be seen in homeless shelters, many of which house significant numbers of full-time wage earners. Almost 1 in 5 homeless persons is employed. The declining value and availability of public assistance is another source of increasing poverty. The lack of affordable housing has led to high rent burdens, rents which absorb a high proportion of income, overcrowding, and substandard housing. These phenomena, in turn, have not only forced many people to become homeless, they have put a large and growing number of people at risk of becoming homeless. Housing assistance can make the difference between stable housing, precarious housing, or no housing at all. A rising tide does not lift all boats, and in the United States today, many boats are struggling to stay afloat.